So many people are doing spooky vlogs because it is the end of October, which I love, I adore. I love a good spooky reading vlog. However, I wanted to do a vlog specifically for Dia de los Muertos because that falls on November 1st and 2nd. It is the Day of the Dead, and I used to be obsessed with the Day of the Dead. I thought it was like such a great holiday, and I really love just like I love the movie Coco. I love just the way that they interact with all of that stuff. So I wanted to do a video just to honor that. Just so you know, I am not Mexican. I know I look Mexican. A lot of people think I'm Mexican. I do speak a little bit of Spanish, but I am not Mexican. But I do have a best friend who is. And so I am doing this video because I want to honor that. And I feel like there's a lot of communities that aren't exactly lifted up as much or as highly, especially in the book talk community. And I feel like the Spanish voice, the Hispanic voice, has kind of dwindled as we progress forward. And so I have some books that I would like to do a little reading vlog for. These are not necessarily Dia de los Muertos books. They're just themed. Well, you'll understand. So these are my Latinx voices that I'm gonna be reading. And these are the books that I want to read for this spoiler-free reading vlog. So the books that I have is I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. This is by Erica L. Sanchez. And I don't know what any of these books are about. I pretty much bought these like throughout the years. Like I've picked them up and been like, oh, this looks interesting. So I've purchased them for many different reasons. I think at one point I did know what this book was about, and so I got it, but I don't remember what it is now, so we will find out in this reading vlog. Another book that I got, which you have seen in my book haul, was The Haunting of Alejandra. I thought that this book just look how pretty that is. Like, that is just so stunning. And this is by V. Castro. Again, I don't know what this book is about, but we will find out in a reading vlog. I also have this book. This is The Inheritance. Wait, hold on. This is The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. And this is by Zoraida Cordova. And again, I have read the backs of these books. I swear I have. I guess I have like book amnesia or something. I don't know, but I never remember what a book is about until after I've actually read it, and then I can kind of like piece together certain things. And then the last book that I want to read in this reading vlog, if I can get to it, is Vampires of El Norte, and this is by Isabel Canas. And I really loved her book, The Hacienda. It's one of my favorite books. I read it, I was enthralled by it. It was so good. It reminded me a lot of Mexican Gothic, but better. Like, I had issues with the ending of Mexican Gothic, but I really loved The Hacienda, and I have really high hopes for this author because like I feel like a lot of her books, like you read the cover thingy or you read the little description of what the book is about and it doesn't feel as interesting, but the way she writes it is so good. So I'm excited to read this one. These are the books that I plan on reading, and I'm very excited. I am going to Texas on Monday, October 30th. So I have this weekend to read as much as I can. I want to get done a couple of these books, like 2 of them, so that I'm just taking 2 with me to Texas, because I wonder if any of these are on Kindle Unlimited. If they are, fantastic. If they're not, I guess we're bringing the physical versions because I still need to read them. But I am very excited, and I'm hoping that I can get to all 4 of these this week. I finished. So I did finish these 4 books. There's not a lot of footage. I think there's only footage on this one because I had to read these really quickly because I was going to Texas and I wasn't comfortable filming in the places that I was reading. A lot of the places that I was reading were like restaurants and stuff like that. Like I would go out to eat and I would sit down and I would just start reading, and it wasn't a corner where I could hide and like hide my camera, so that was really awkward. But I did finish reading, and let's talk about these. So we'll start with this one because this is the first one that I read. This is The Haunting of Alejandra, and this book was really good, but I just wish there was a lot more to it. I thought it was really cool how he integrated the past and the present and like combined a lot of Mexican lore into this one. This book is about the La Llorona, like lore. I don't know how else to say that. That whole story of La Llorona, which if you don't know, is a woman in white. And the story in this book, which is different from the stories that I've known about, but the story in this book is that La Llorona was working in a marketplace and she had 2 children. And she was very miserable. She was trying to make money, trying to survive. And then she meets this rich man. And he promises to take care of her, but he doesn't want kids. So she kills her kids. And then he finds out and says, I always knew that you had kids. That was a test. And so then she goes like crazy and kills herself. And so Alejandra has, I believe, 3 children. And one is an infant. One's a toddler, and then one's like a child, like I think she's 9. And her husband is, I feel like her husband is white. I think she makes reference to that, and I believe her oldest, I don't know, it was kind of weird because it felt like her oldest child was not his. So that was very confusing, but Alejandra is seeing La Llorona, and a lot of things are happening. She's seeing a white dress is what she's seeing at first, and then things progress from there. I really liked this book. It was a quick read. It's very short. I just wish there was more to Alejandra. I feel like, you know, this book is about her, and yet I still didn't have enough of interest in her. It just felt like this whole book's about her, and yet I still didn't know who she was. So I wish there was more for that. And then I also wish there was more on her ending. I don't want to give away the ending because I want this to be spoiler free, but I felt like there should have been a lot more added in the end. I just didn't get that. And if you've read this book, then I think you would understand like what I am talking about. But overall, I thought this was a really good book. I would probably recommend it. It was very spooky, so it's good for this season. And I did like that. It was good in the sense that it is like a thrillerish type of thing. So if you are interested in something like that, I would definitely read this. I think the next one I read was Vampires of El Norte. I love this author. This is an automatic buy author. Her writing is so beautiful. I would not say this was a spooky book though. I wouldn't say that I think this is classified as horror. I would not classify this as horror. It was heavy on the romance, which I didn't mind. I love romance, so it wasn't bad. Basically, there is this woman and this guy, and they were together, and then they weren't together, and then there's a war, and they're back together. So I'm not doing well explaining it, but that's pretty much what happened. She's the daughter of a rancher. Yeah, she's the daughter of a rancher. It's based in the 1840s, maybe? Yeah. As the daughter of a rancher in 1840s Mexico, Nena knows a thing or two about monsters. There are cowboys and there are vampires. That is true. Would I say that this is scary though? Not really. It was more romantic than anything. But I really loved her writing style. I think her writing style is just so pretty. It's just so pretty. So I would recommend this for romance and for like spooky romance. I would read this for spooky romance. I would not recommend this if you were like, oh, I want a scary book. I probably wouldn't. This isn't it. I think The Hacienda was more scary because I felt like there was more happening that you were like, I don't understand. And that was making your heart beat faster. But this one, I mean, you understand pretty quickly and pretty easily what's going on. So yeah, romance readers, yes. You wanted a spooky read for romance. Yes. Oh, I don't even remember. I think I gave this 3 stars, by the way. I think I gave this like 3 or 4 stars. I think I gave this 4 stars. It just didn't give me that 5-star vibe. I believe I gave this 4 stars. I read The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, and this one was very interesting to read. Did I like it? Yes. I gave this 3 stars. It was not a bad book. However, there was so much backstory on characters that I was like, are these characters really that important? Like, I guess I was confused. There was so much backstory on so many people, and that was kind of annoying. I just wish that the author had picked a handful of people to give you that much detail on and made them important. But basically, Orquídea, she passes away, and it's up to her family to figure out what's going on, basically. Like, she dies and she invites her family to like her funeral. And then, I don't know how to explain this. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. She dies and she invites people to her funeral. There are 2 different timelines though. And that was kind of annoying. It was kind of difficult because I really just preferred one timeline over the other. But was this bad? No. Would I recommend this? Yes. This was a fun book to read, especially in this time, is it spooky? No. It's more like entertaining. I wouldn't say it was spooky. I would say it's more entertaining. So this was fun though, and I do recommend it. And yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. And it's just cute. The last book that I read was I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. This book made me cry. Like, uncontrollably cry, and I gave it 4 stars because all I could do was cry. That's all I did all the time was cry. And I think that this book is really perfect for anyone, absolutely anyone, because everybody knows what it feels like to be inadequate to your family, and everybody also knows what it's like that your family compares you to somebody that you will never measure up to. Like, if you have siblings, you're never gonna measure up. Like, there's nothing you can do. You've lost. You've already lost because you weren't born an only child. So, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter is about Julia. She is not an only child. However, her older sister Olga passes away tragically, and her family continues to compare her to Olga because Julia wants to go off to college. She wants to move out of her family's home. I don't know about other cultures, but I'm Greek. I did leave my home unmarried, and it was like a huge deal in my entire family. Like, everybody talked about it. Everybody was whispering about it. It was not okay. Like, it just wasn't okay. And so I understand in this book where Julia is like, I'm going off to college, and I'm going, like, not going in state, I'm going away. And her entire family is like, are you kidding me right now? So I get it, and I feel like this book was very relatable. Like, no matter what she did, she just always felt inadequate, and that I think is something that everybody can relate to, at least at one point or another, where they are like, oh, I just will never measure up. Like, I will never matter enough. I will never be perfect enough. I will never be good enough. Like, so this was good though. It really was very emotional. Very emotional. So anyways, these are the books that I read. This was fun, and I really hope that next year for Dia de los Muertos, you guys have some options to read. If you celebrate, please let me know. What did you guys do? If you celebrate Dia de los Muertos, if you celebrate Halloween, if you just stayed home and watched Love Actually. I'm not saying that I did. I'm just saying it was an option. Let me know. I would love to know. And that's all that I have for you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe. It really helps me, and it makes me feel special. Oh, my dog. I know, honey. The mailman's here. Oh, hi. Oh, okay. But if you could please subscribe, it makes me feel really good about myself. And I will see you guys in the next video. Micah, you're really not helping. I'll see you guys later.